Perfect.
I'm recording, yes.
Great. So welcome everybody. I'm Fabio Nascimbeni from the ETF, and I'm leading within the ETF the developments of the community of innovative educators. So for me, it's a great pleasure to see not only the 40 important key people from all your countries have agreed to become an ambassador, which was not was not an easy step, but also that you are here on such a short notice. So this actually is giving us a very good sign of commitment and of interest from your side. So thank you very much for that. The idea of today is to have, this is the first meeting of the team of the ambassadors. And the idea of today is, let me quickly share my screen so I can show you the objectives of the meeting. I hope you can see it. Okay, so the idea of today, let me just give you here on the agenda. Yes, the agenda is just to have following a brief introduction. I will give the floor to Olena, my colleague, in a moment, our leader of the teaching and learning innovation activities at ETF. But before that, just to briefly recap the objectives of today. So first of all, each of us should speak quickly to introduce ourselves and to very briefly tell us who we are. Of course, just a mini snapshot, but to know who is around the table. Then I will briefly introduce the state of the art of the community. That is something that also you will have to present in your countries if you wish. So it's also good then to get comments from you on the community developments. Then we will discuss quickly our idea of the role of ambassador. But of course, here there is a big question and answer session because we would really like this role of ambassadors to be in line with your preferences and expectations. And finally, we will have this a session on the expected activities for 2022. This is the first meeting. The idea is to have a meeting like this every 6 months, more or less. And in between, we can, of course, have bilateral meetings, or we can have smaller meetings, regional meetings, depending on the need. But the idea is to keep in touch at least every 6 months to make sure that we are all following and that we can update each other on where we are. But I don't want to anticipate too much. I'm just going here and give the floor to Olena Beck, coordinator of teaching and learning activities at the ETF, for a welcome. Olena, please.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited about today, honestly, because this is the initiative that we hope to be creating together with you. And many of you know that we have this new area in the ETF, which is called Innovation in Teaching and Learning. And the whole idea started from two words, new learning. So learning in new conditions, learning to be different. Somebody should mute the microphone. Yeah, just to mute the microphone if possible. I think it's, yeah, super. Thank you. I see you muted. So the new learning for us was doing things differently and responding to the changed circumstances. We all lived through COVID. And I would like to acknowledge that we all are very aware of the global situation and of the tragedy that Ukraine is going through at the moment, with huge support internationally. And many of you know that I'm Ukrainian and we have Ukrainian ambassadors among you. So it's really important for us to be aware that the world will continue changing and there will be new challenges. And so our new learning includes also the involvement of all the stakeholders or interested partners into creating these new conditions and new instruments. So the new learning includes for us building the community of educators who are taking the modernization of learning in their own hands, and also help us to be very relevant to the needs of all countries, but not only at the country level, but to the practitioners themselves, to people who act as educators every day, and also to learners and to all other partners. So the idea of ambassadors, of course, the word ambassador includes the meaning of representation. So you, for us, you are the face of this community. And especially it's a very interesting situation because the community is pretty new. It was born only in September, October last year. And for the first period of time, we were working with a group of experts to launch the main activities. And now we are giving it back to the community, all the ideas and tools. And if we are saying that you are the ambassadors, you represent the community, that also means that we include you in our team of those who bring ideas to the community, who share the responsibility for its success. So the ambassador for us is somebody, for example, we will tell you what is our supposed role that is proposed to you, but we want to know how you see this role, and we would like to create this role together with you. And especially this is the moment, of course, it's not an paid expert work. And that means that all of us should see the benefit of doing it together. And we hope that you will see the benefit of being ambassadors of this community, being ambassadors of new learning and innovation in teaching and learning. And just let me just give you one figure. It's actually not even an exact figure. There was a study some years ago that how many ideas we generate every day. And I think the figure was 40,000 each person. It's the thoughts that come to our mind and go. And then only some of these thoughts could be turned into actions. And whether these actions would be innovative depends not only on the ideas themselves, but also on our capacity to implement innovation. So for us, it's important that together we will be able to implement more innovative ideas and collect these innovations, collect these sparkles of innovation, and try to find the ways to be more effective. So let me just say that we will be bringing to you all our activities, other activities, non-community activities. And we hope that they will become also communities' own activities. We would like to make sure that the ambassadors will be helping us to bring the initiative from bottom up, from the educators themselves, and make sure that the community supports them, supports mutual learning, supports discussion, and that anyone who wants to be innovative but not yet knows how to do it would come to the community and become an innovator and help the others. So I hope that today will be this first meeting of exchanging ideas, and I would like to welcome you to the community in this very important role of ambassadors. Fabio, back to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elena. That's perfect. Actually, a great definition of what we mean by new learning. It's not only new pedagogy, it's really a new way of modernizing, a new way of thinking about learning systems. Actually, that's our idea. Okay, so we would like not to present to you many things, but actually to start from this, what we call the Who is Who session, where we would like to ask you something very difficult. I know this is something I'm never able to do myself. So to present yourself, and I will ask this also to our team, so to Ermina, Olena, myself, because we all have a different role in this community. So each of us, and I will give you the floor in a moment, we'll have to speak for maximum 30 seconds. If you speak for 20 seconds, even better. The idea is really just to let us know who you are, where you work, which country, which city, which university or school. We don't need to go in detail about that. What is your relation to teaching innovation? Are you a teacher? Are you a researcher? Are you a practitioner? Are you a manager? Whatever, just to understand your stake on teaching innovation, and what has been up to now the relation with the community. Some of you have been speakers in our events. Some of you are totally new to the community. Some of you have volunteered to join the community. And of course, you showed a great CV and we said, great, come over, join and help us shaping this together. Some of you have written blog posts and so on. So you would like to know, some of you are our former 4 facilitators, actually, that we would like to thank, as Elena did, for the work done until now. So basically 3 things: who you are, what is your relation to teaching innovation, and what is your relation up to now with the community. Now, let me stop sharing, and I'll give the floor. Let me start. I'll go, let's say, as in my screen. So I'll start with Haidar Madanat. I ask.
And maybe, Fabio, we can actually ask the one who is talking to pick the next one.
Ah, yes, please. Good point.
So to make it a bit more.
So when you finish Haidar, you can give the ball to somebody else. You decide. Haidar, please.
Okay, I am Haidar Madanat. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I am Haidar Madanat. I am a specialist in science curricula and textbooks. I worked in Ministry of Education for 30 years. I am retired now. From 20 years, I am working with many companies and many governments in development, science, curricula, textbooks, especially in biology and general science. Also, I am working in media, science media. So every day I translate and publish a brief of what's new in science and technology and many social medias, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I joined the ETF by Dr. Nejan Mustafa, because I worked with him many years, the last 5 to 10 years.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Please select somebody else, Haidar.
I think he selected
Nehme.
Nehem.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Good.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Nejan Mustafa, Associate Professor at St. Joseph University of Beirut. I'm representing ETF on the South and East Mediterranean countries to transform education into innovative teaching and learning. I already posted blogs and conducted webinars to promote innovation in teaching and learning in these countries. Thank you.
Fantastic. Please select somebody else. Please give the ball to somebody else, to a lady maybe. Let's change the tone of the voice to a lady.
Mimosa.
Mimosa.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mimosa Yankolovska, and I'm coming from Macedonia. I have been working for more than 15 years in vocational secondary school in Macedonia. Now I'm a freelancer and I work on different projects in different countries. And for this community, I have been a part from the very start. And as I was a regional coordinator for Balkans, Turkey, and Israel, and with some of you from this region, I have been working more closely. So innovations are very important because without innovations, we will just stay in one place and we will not move forward. So I think innovations are something that we need to implement every day in everything that we are doing. So yeah, that is it. I am calling now Vladica.
Thanks. I'm Vladica Stojanovic. I'm coming from Serbia. I am mechanical engineer. I'm working last 8 years at technical school Vlasotince. I am totally new in ETF. Big thanks to Mimosa and Julian Stanley. Totally new members, I'm very motivated. I have a new idea for participate. In our technical school in Vlasotince, we have many activities. And on the first place, this is activities with local companies. I'm ready for education, for development in big thanks.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Throw the ball to somebody else.
Next, just a moment. Liana Manolo. Liana Manolo.
Hello.
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 My name is Liana Manolo. I'm a teacher of sociology for 15 years. Štip, North Macedon. I'm happy to be a part of this. We have an ideas for
You can select another one, Liliana.
Fabio.
Fabio, yes. Okay, well, I introduced myself already, but I'm happy to do so again. Fabio Nascimbeni, Italian, rather new staff at ETF, and again, I am leading the community within the ETF team together with my colleagues, and I've been working with the 4 facilitators now, and I'm now noting that you're moving from 4 to 42, which is a nice nice feeling, actually, more complexity, but also more energy for sure. And I'd like to give the floor to my dear friend Merab.
Thank you, Fabio. Thank you, all participants today too. I hope at some point we will see each other in person also. I'm Merab Lavadze from Georgia. I would call myself innovation facilitator, as an expert, as a lecturer in universities, and also as director of the NGO that actually shares the name with the community. It's Innovative Education Foundation. So we propose different projects in innovation, support digital innovation in STEM, support teachers and the young learners. Our focus group is youth and also teachers and innovative teachers. And in ETF, I was a regional expert for Eastern Partnership countries, contributing to gathering all of you today. And I'm happy to continue as an ambassador as well. And I'll pass the floor to Ketevan Kupatadze, who is new to the community, but she's an excellent innovator by herself.
Thank you, Merab. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Ketevan Kupatadze. I'm a chemist professor at Ilia State University in Tbilisi, Georgia. And right now I'm joining with Turkey, where I'm participating in special project also dedicated to innovation, education and practical learning, because my subject, chemistry, needs to propose to our pupils and students some kind of innovation and research-based learning. So I have some activities in this direction, researchers, projects, and as Merab said, I'm new in this community, and we'll be happy joining to you and do more for this direction. And we'll select Snezhana.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Nejan Abednikovska. I'm coming from North Macedonia. I'm a professor at university in Bitola at the Faculty of Economy. My field of study is marketing, business, and communication. I'm new in this community, thanks to Mimosa. And I'm very excited and anxious to give my contribution to this society. Let me see who has not been asked to introduce. Oskar?
Thank you, Snezhana. Hello,
Okay.
everyone. Sorry, my English. I am Oskar from Kazakhstan. I'm working in a non-commercial joint stock company Talap under Ministry of Education and Science of Republic Kazakhstan. And I cannot say that I am new with ETF because we are conducted Torino process, maybe 5 or 6 years. And we participated in many projects that conducted by ETF. For example, Center for Vocation of Professional Excellence and another digitalization of TVET, and I don't remember another project. It's a big honor for me to be ambassador from Kazakhstan, and I am happy and hope this job will be very useful for my country. Thank you. And next, can I choose my friend Vitaly Kopnov?
Hello there, friends. My name is Vitaly Kopnov. I'm a representative of Uzbekistan, of North Nukus branch of Tashkent University of Information Technologies. And I'm busy with training students on innovation management and project management. And my area of interest is close to vocational innovation, validation on formal and informal learning, and other issues, especially for lifelong learning for adults. And I'm happy to see here my friends, my team from Central Asia, Oskar, Marina, Aysulu, Svetlana, and other people. So I give the floor to Svetlana from Kyrgyzstan.
Thank you very much, Vitaly. Dear colleagues, first of all, let me thank you for a wonderful opportunity to be a part of NEU team. I'm sorry I can't use my video in the moment. My name is Svetlana Sirbart, and I'm rector of Adam University in Bishkek in the Kyrgyz Republic. Also, more than 20 years, I have been involved in the development, regulatory and methodological documents for the national system of vocational and higher education in our country. My last expert work is head of working group in the development of a national qualification framework under the Ministry of Education. Maybe that's all. And I would like to give a new next word to my colleague, Marina Skiba.
Thank you, Svetlana. My name is Marina Skiba. I am from Kazakhstan, Nur-Sultan. I work as rector of Financial Academy, and I have a long time experience to participate in different projects from Erasmus Plus, Tempus, and I have a good opportunity to meet more beautiful people and create a new idea, implemented new idea from Europe in my country. And my first education is a teacher of math and IT, and my topic of my research is learning outcomes, digitalization, innovation method of education, and management of education. And I have some experiences also of accreditation standards from Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. And I have opportunity to share your experience for big group of experts from Kazakhstan, because now I am also chairman of 2 educational council of experts in fields of university and fields of international school. And now I want to give opportunity to say anything to
The winner is
Oksana Rasichuk.
Thank you, Marina. My name is Oksana Pasichnik, and I'm from Ukraine. I am a computer science teacher in Ukraine, and I'm also a member of the team who is developing a national curriculum update. Actually, that's how we have cooperated with Olena, and we have done a lot of different interesting things concerning new curriculum. And my interest in innovative pedagogy is actually coming from ICT area. At first, I thought that digitalization might be a good tool to solve a lot of problems, and it actually is a good tool. But I'm sure that actually pedagogy is way more important in creating new learning and teaching. Therefore, I'm trying to combine those technical innovations along with some methodological stuff and create some new learning experience for my students. So that's what I'm trying and hoping to do here as well. And I am passing the floor to Mirela.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for this delay. I just came from the university. I'm associate professor at the Faculty of Business, Department of Tourism. So I'm coming from Albania, and tourism is one of the first pillar of our economy. So I'm specialized in using the digital tools and turning the theoretical in practical skills. So I'm also the coordinator of project that I represent my faculty. This kind of project involve Western Balkan project. And the goal of this kind of project is to turn the theoretical in digital skills and to create the software to use by our students and also by the customers. So also I'm the member of the COAST project for the youth generation, and also I'm very honored to be part of this kind of team and share my experience and also getting more information and creating a network in the future. Thank you so much. The other participant that I cannot remember who is going to help me.
I can help you. I can.
Okay, Fabio helps me because I just came and I don't remember the name.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
We can move to Sami. I don't think you spoke already, Sami. Did you? No. Please. You are muted. Sami, I think you're still muted. Yeah.
Right now. Hello, everybody. My name is Sami Kakesh. I'm from Jordan. I work at Ministry of Education as a teacher, educational supervisor, mainly in science and environmental science, as well as a director of educational supervision department. I'm really interested in some ideas and which I believe it will be a great innovation for helping a student. First of all, I'm really interested in habits of mind and the nature of science and technology, as well as integrated environmental concept in curriculum, because my background is environmental science. Also, I work as a focal point for human rights and international humanitarian law at the Ministry of Education. Right now, I'm retired. I'm working as a freelancer for different companies in designing curriculum and developing textbook for students in different countries, especially in the Middle East. Thank you. Let me give the floor to Sonja Antino Noviki.
Yes. Okay.
Is that right?
Thank you. Yes. Sonja Antunovic.
Yes.
I'm an ambassador from North Macedonia, from Bitola, exactly. And I'm a primary school teacher for a change, as if I heard many of you university professors and etc. But it would be interesting to hear the side of primary school teachers and their opinions, their experiences, I have more than 25 years of teaching experience and always open to new teaching ideas. Okay, the person who introduced me to the community was Mimosa Yankolovska, who is our regional coordinator, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm honored. And I accepted to cooperate in your community with great pleasure. That's all. Thank you. I would like to give a word to Yuri, maybe. Yuri.
Hello, colleagues. My English isn't very good, but I'll try give it. My name is Yuri. I'm from Ukraine. The situation in the country is not very stable, but we are planning to develop our education. Currently, I'm working as a Methodist and a teacher of Children's Club. It's formal education. Also, I'm a founder of Training Club for children, and I'm a coach in educational and sports robotics. I really like working in this direction. I like working with children and seeing their progress in robotics. After last webinar about STEM education, I received an invitation to be an ambassador. Murab invited me. Murab, hello from Ukraine.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Next will be my colleague, Sergey from Kyiv.
Thank you, Yuri. Hello, everyone. I'm Sergey Dzuba from Kyiv, from Ukraine. I have more than 20 years experience in formal education in secondary school. Now I'm founder of STEM Center Socrates, where we teach from kindergarten to students of high school. We teach many areas such as robotics, IoT, microelectronics, cybersecurity. I'm also lead of Cisco Oracle Academies. And I want to share my experience in these teams for others. And maybe I want to find new opportunities to teach such theme as robotics and electronics in such time, because offline is very problematic. Also, we have base for practice for students and from other from different universities. Maybe that's all. In next ball, maybe for Julian.
I'm Julian. I work at the European Training Foundation. I spent the first 20 years of my life as a teacher. And then I worked in the university a bit, and now I'm working for the European Training Foundation. As you get older, I've got white hair, it gets more difficult, I think, to meet people and to find people that you've got something you share with. So for me, it's wonderful to meet so many of you now, because I know that all of you, like me, want to talk about innovation, want to share ideas, share our experiences. So I think it's wonderful to make, some of you I know already, but I'm making 40 new friends today with who I can talk about innovation. So thank you very much. Let's join an innovation party. And I'll pass on the word to, who hasn't yet spoken? I don't think that, let's just check here. I don't think that Jamil has spoken yet. Jamil.
Can you hear me? Hi. Hi, this is Jamil Abdelhadi. I am from Palestine. I work as a projects coordinator for the Palestinian Agricultural Development Association, specialized in agricultural TVET, and I work also as a part-time soft skills coach. I am happy to join this community, and I was nominated to join this community by the Belgian Development Agency. Thank you. I pass the ball to Haris Hamizic.
Hello, my name is Haris Hamizic. Hello from Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I'm member of ITF thanks to Fabio and Mimosa. I work in high school, secondary high school in Sarajevo. I have more than 10 years experience. I'm professor of mathematics and computer science, and nice to be here. And I will ask my colleague Nada Sokolovic to introduce herself. Thanks.
Thank you, Haris. Hello, everybody. My name is Nada Sokolovic. I am math and computer science teacher in elementary school Osman Nakash in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I work with students 11, 40 years old. I love math and computer science, and I am looking forward to us working together. Thank you. And now, Marina. Marina Skiba.
I'm happy, but I'm just say I can change and ask different.
We have Sami. Sami you spoke already. Sorry. Let me see.
Maybe Ermina.
I can be a volunteer.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
You can ask the people who did not speak to raise a hand. So that you can identify them.
Exactly. Please go ahead.
Hello. My name is Aysulu Imasheva. I'm from Kyrgyzstan. I'm very glad to see new colleagues and our old distinguished experts such Miss Svetlana Simbart, Vitaly Kapnov, Zibo Isakova. So I'm very happy to be here. And for 20 years, I have been working in the field of higher education. For 7 years, I have been leading the International Relations Office at the International University of Kyrgyzstan. Then I joined the National Campus Office in Kyrgyzstan, then Erasmus Plus Office in Kyrgyzstan. Mainly, my activities related to the administrative work and to the managerial work related to the implementation and monitoring of the international projects. And I do hope that my skills and that my network will be helpful within the community, especially in collecting new ideas, new methodologies, new approaches in the learning and teaching, and to disseminate, to share among the local community to improve the quality of the education at all. And I would like to give the floor to Zibo Isakova from Uzbekistan.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Aysulu. And I'm very glad to see all members of higher education team. I'm Zibo Isakova from Uzbekistan, working at the Academy of Public Administration, giving lecture to the representatives of labor market, administrative staff from various organizations and lawmakers. Nowadays, I'm working on my research work on innovative economy, and at the same time, so I am working in different projects as project management. I was involved to the ETF activity with the support of Mr. Kopnov. We had a joint project together on EQUET. So my field of expertise is knowledge triangle, innovative economy, and I'm really glad to be here with you. Thank you.
And now the ball can go. I see Uktam. You raised your hand. We have still four more people, and then we're done.
More than 4.
More than 4.
I'm keeping the record now.
Ah, good. Fantastic.
Hello, dear friends. Can you hear me?
Please, yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to our friend Vitaly Kopnov that he invited me to this initiative. I'm Uktam Jumaev. I'm from Tajikistan. I started my teaching career from Tajik Institute of Entrepreneurship and Service. We have been pushing forward the specialty of public policy. Our main interest is that introduce new innovative learning models so that to help our future government leaders use evidence-based skills to take better decisions. So ICT, implementing ICT for taking decisions, using applied instruments, statistical and econometrical instruments to analyze data is the main priority of our work. We also help our Ministry of Education to build national regulatory papers and analytical papers to put together the business industrial companies and universities so that to help organize practical oriented research so that to meet the demands of the government for the future skills. And I'm very happy to be the part of ETF. I hope that by your help and assistance, it will be very important to get access to the new initiatives, new methodologies, new techniques that we can also use in Tajikistan. So let's start work together, let's cooperate. This is a very good starting. Let me give the floor to Hani Zreikat.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am Hani Rigath from Jordan. I'm a math specialist. I have master's degree in math. I was a secondary teacher of math in the Ministry of Education and as math supervisor also. I'm a math specialist for math curricula. After retired, I have the opportunity to be a consultant of the UNESCO in Iraq to help teachers there to write a new curricula and some courses to write their new books, math books. Also, I have the opportunity to be a senior editor in math for some textbook companies like Obecan and your projects to customize the different series, American series in math for Middle East, especially for Gulf states. And that's it. Now I am retired, and now I give the word to Vitaly. Thank you.
Kaha did not speak yet. Vitaly already spoke, no?
Yes, Kaha.
Kaha, Saida.
Hello for everyone. You listen me, yes, because yes. Hello everyone. I am thankful for your invitation to work and cooperate like an ambassador. I am from Georgia, the Teachers Professional Development Center. I have experience for 30 years to teach children, and all this time I am very not happy children from the school teaching. So I'm very interested in some innovative methods. I'm also working in Ilyas State University and teach the future teachers. So I'm very interested for your new innovative methods and activities in different countries. I'm also very interested in problems you are seeing this process when you try to implement these methods. And for the last 2 years, I and my friends try to implement STEM teaching principles in our public schools, and it's not easy process. So I am very interested to show our practice and also to see and discuss the problems, how to implement the new methods and new style of the teaching in school where our children are spent 10, 12 years of their life. So I thank you. And I want to say for Christian Wanden, and so please to introduce yourself.
Hello, thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm Christine, I'm part of the ETF, and I took part of the ETF team last year when we started to develop this network. And I'm really pleased to see so many teachers of all these different countries all together on screen. In ETF, I'm also a country coordinator for Palestine. And that's why, okay, there are some participants also here today from Palestine. I would like to give them the floor also later. Just because I thought that maybe for the time being, the representation of the Mediterranean countries is still a bit less present. So let's hope that the ambassadors also from Jordan and Palestine will do their best to get some more participants from the Mediterranean countries, where I know that a lot of innovation is happening. So I'm very pleased now to give the floor to Syed Mustafa from Palestine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christina. This is Syed Mustafa from Palestine. I worked as a head of a project unit at the Quds Open University. Right now I'm working as a project coordinator for the Innovation Hub, and I'm really excited to learn and disseminate new innovation method in learning and teaching. I'm new to this community. I was nominated by my colleague Maram Atinebel from the Belgium agency, and really excited to be part of this network to learn and transfer this expertise and knowledge to others in my community. Thank you, and I will pass the floor for Vitaly. This is the only one with the raised hand.
There is a probably colleague of Vitaly who, because your screen says Vitaly, but you're not Vitaly. So if you unmute and tell us who you are.
Yes, dear friends, this is my account. I don't.
Yeah, we understood, but we don't hear you because you're muted.
Yes, I see. Yeah.
Muted.
Please.
Yeah. You need to unmute the microphone. No, we don't hear. We don't hear. Yeah, now.
I was named Vitaly, but I'm not. I'm Asiya Turinyazova from Uzbekistan, from the region of Karakalpakstan, which is a sovereign republic in Uzbekistan. So I would like to thank Vitaly for advertising ETF, for inviting me to join this very creative team. I'm just glad to be on board and hope to contribute to work of this group. Once I participated in the round table of ETF organized by ETF as a speaker, expert from Uzbekistan. So I work for IT University. I'm a head of IT department there, and I'm also a half-time associate professor at Pedagogical Institute in Nukus. I'm involved in research works on development of electronic teaching resources, innovative pedagogical technologies, and hopefully I will contribute to development of a very useful, productive, innovative teaching resources. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think
I will rename me.
Yes.
I can help, Fabio. We still have Sergio.
Yes, from Moldova, he has spoken.
There are still a few people. Yeah. Sergio? You need to unmute. No. Okay, then let's give the floor to Sonia. If she didn't speak yet, maybe I missed.
I already did.
Okay, then Tika, Tina Tin. Tika, she was here.
Yes.
Yeah, Tika, I see you, you're here.
Maybe she cannot connect.
Okay, so if Sergio and Tika do not speak, then
you can introduce yourself in the chat if some of you didn't have the time to do it yet. I think I wouldn't like to keep you here much more than what we promised, but I wanted to share. Merab, you have somebody?
Yeah, just our friend from Armenia, Lucina, has joined you recently.
Please.
So,
yes, Lucina. Yes.
Because I got a message that we're going to start in an hour, and
so we're making short introductions, Lucina, just who you are, how you found out, what's your connection to innovation in teaching, and also how you get to the community.
Okay, 3 months ago, I made a research on the Printel project on active learning methods, and the research is available. I can send you the link. And this is not only about the universities in Armenia, but also in the partner countries as well. And in the COVID time, it was a very good opportunity to test all these active learning methodology, innovative teaching methods, how to adjust the teaching resources and also the competencies that teachers had in those days to transfer their knowledge, skills, and competencies in the new environment. Now I'm working on a new methodology, how to use this creative thinking, critical thinking, and problem-based methodology in teaching different subjects. And I also prepared a toolkit for the Armenian universities, how to make changes in the content of in the content of their teaching. And one thing that I would also like to mention, I'm the representative of Armenia in the European Center for Modern Languages that is in charge of improving the language education, language and intercultural education. And what I'm doing, I'm organizing different trainings for the Armenian teachers, how to improve the content of teaching and learning in Armenia in language education, and for example, how to implement this relang related the language examinations to the common European framework of references. We had a training on e-portfolio, how to develop language portfolios for the teachers, and especially now when we have had a problem with the refugees. This is an excellent way to store all the things that the students, the learners have accumulated in different learning environments. And in case they have these e-learning, e-portfolios, so they can have in their biography, dossier, and password. It consists of 3 parts. An excellent to store all the information about their achievements, and in case they go from one place to another, so in a new place, a new school or a new institution will track their success, and this will also be very good when, for example, they go to the university, they go to the vocational education establishment, because this will be an information on the languages that maybe integrated in the further formal and informal education activities. We also had the trainings on the intercultural communication, this plurimobile, how to develop the students, the learners' skills and competencies for working in a new environment, and how to foster this mobility of the students. Unfortunately, I would like to say that we had a discrepancy between the schools and in Armenia, and for example, the schools in the European countries. Why? Because we have the problem that which is called delayed mobility age. Unfortunately, our learners start to travel when they enter the universities, and this period of schooling is the period of the gap for mobility. That's why the students, the learners, are not skilled how to benefit from these opportunities. And now we have already had 2 trainings on how to prepare the students to work to study in a new environment, to travel and to study, and so on. Another innovative training line which I would like to mention is the subject teaching. For example, the use of the languages in subject teaching as well. Why? Because sometimes they say that, for example, the student or the learner is not skilled in maths, but in reality, and it is coherent not only with the language teaching, but with the subject teaching as well. In reality, even in their mother tongue, they are not able to analyze, make interpretation of different phenomena and so on. And there are special strategies that are developed by the European Center for Modern Languages, which is a Council of Europe partial agreement located in Graz. A lot of new methodologies how to improve the quality of teaching, subject teaching, and how to use these languages so as to facilitate the subject teaching as well.
Luzin, sorry, Luzin. I see we have so many innovations that it's hard to stop, but that's really interesting. And actually, the issue of language is coming out many times, also during the previous presentation. But I'll have to stop you because we need to move on. Sorry, because I think also you were the last one arriving. Sorry very much. I think everybody spoke, but I wouldn't like to keep you here more than the next half an hour, very maximum. But I wanted to share with you a couple of ideas we have, because of course now we know who we are, and I'm really happy to see we are a great mix of actual educators. That's the core of who we should be. But we have also experts, we have rectors, we have people working at the ministries, we have university professors. So we have different people that can look at innovation from different angles, cultures and countries and languages. So it's I mean, it will be difficult to manage the complexity, but again, out of the complexity, we can take out a lot of interesting ideas. What I wanted to show you, and please feel free to use the chat if you want then to keep on commenting or to introduce yourself. We wanted to show you, taking the chance that we have you all here, I hope you can see now my screen. Can you?
Yes.
Good. I wanted to show you just one slide on the community, because some of you are new in the community, so maybe you don't have very clear the boundaries of where we are. So as Olena said, the community was launched in September last year. We reached already more than 900 registered persons in our online space that I will show you in a moment. And these are educators, practitioners, managers, experts, many different people working in education. The focus is on the ETF partner countries, so all the countries that we heard during your presentations, and it's great that we have almost all the countries covered with one ambassador, and some countries are covered with more than one. We have 4 or 5 ambassadors in some countries. And actually what the community wants to do is very simple. Knowledge sharing, as the ones of you who have witnessed what the community have done until now, it's pretty simple. Webinars, discussion webinars, blog posts, and so on, and valorization of innovation. This is a thing that we haven't done until now, but we want to do it we want to start doing now, from now until the end of this year, to collect inspiring and innovative practice. And I will come there in a moment. And then, of course, we want to promote relevant national initiative and to localize meaningful international activities. So we always have this relation between the national that you represent, you know your country, you know the language, you know your fellow educators, and the level of international development that is where this exchange can take place. Language is an issue. I'm glad to hear that actually all of you can speak very good English, even the one who excused themselves before taking the floor. Actually, I think for this very group, English is not going to be a problem, but for the activities of the community, of course, we will try as much as possible to provide interpretation for the webinars into Russian, Arabic, and other languages as we did, and also for the blog post. So this just to show you a bit of slides that we are using when we present the community and that we will share with you so that you can also use them when you will present the community in your country, in your school, in your different activities if you want. These are a bit of the keywords that have been discussed, of the issues that have been discussed during the first months of the community, and many of you have mentioned some of these. We need to add their STEM, which was mentioned. We need to add there the importance of language. We need to add their computational thinking and another few things that we heard today, but this is just a snapshot. And this is an important slide because it shows that the community is not only composed by the activities that we organize, that the ETF organizes, because we don't plan to organize many things. We organize one webinar every couple of months internally, but it's composed by the interaction between what happens at the center of the community, so organized by the community, with what happens around the community, which is in the countries. And by doing so, of course, we want, what do we want to do? And do we want to do with you is to promote your national activities in the community, so at international level, to transfer some interesting practices from one country to another. So if you heard now that in Georgia, they are working to develop STEM competencies in primary school, interesting, you might want to learn more. You can do that through this group. We can search for countries collaboration. And of course, one of the main tasks is to promote the community activities from the communities into your country. So this is a bit the approach. The message here is that your role will not just be the one to promote. Let me go here. Sorry, here. Your role will not be just the one to promote the community in your country, which is the classical role of an ambassador. An ambassador of Italy in France is representing and promoting, of course, also Italy in another country. Now, this is the first part of your role. So to promote the community in your country, what does this mean? You can see there, invite educators from your country to join the community, translate announcement in your national language and post them online in different social networks, in different spaces, spread the invitation, invite people to join the community webinars. For example, promote the call for innovative practices that will be coming out soon. So this is actually promoting the community in your country. And this is, we expect this not to be a lot of work. We heard that most of you, all of you actually, are very connected with other educators, with your schools and national networks. So this is something which, as an ambassador, you should be doing rather easily. But the second thing, which is equally important, is to promote your country developments in the community. Because of course, the community lives out of this dynamic between what happens, let's say, in Georgia and what the other countries need to know about that specific innovation. So for example, here, one activity could be take some time, translate into English a blog post on a national development. The blog post exists, the text exists, you translate it into English and you share them with the community through a blog post or through an email. There are many ways. Or you can propose to organize a webinar presenting some specific teaching innovation from your countries. We could have webinars specifically focusing, for example, on I don't know, we have many people from here, North Macedonia. We could have, you could gather you all and have a webinar specifically on North Macedonia, and so on and so forth. So we could have specific national events. And of course, in many countries, I'm thinking now, for example, of Albania, and thinking of Mirela, you have a national teaching competition, national teaching innovation competitions. So it would be interesting to promote in the community, in the international community, the winners and the best practices of the national teaching competition. So these are the two main activities. And here the message is you should not just be an ambassador in the sense of promoting things that happen, but also proposing things and promoting within the community things that happen in your country. And of course, you can then propose activities, even new activities, things that we have not thought about. You are not a normal member of the community. You are actually requested to come out with ideas if you want of things that we could do together. And you can share your own knowledge. Most of you write, most of you are actually academics. So if you have something, the lady I just interrupted on languages, she was saying so many interesting things. You can just put them in a blog post, put them in the community, and more than 1,000 people with this specific interest will have access to that. So this just to show you the role of the ambassador. I will then open the floor for questions on this specific slide. I just wanted to let you know a couple of more things. The first is how ambassadors, how we plan to recognize your work. Of course, there is no financial remuneration directly, so we cannot pay nor reimburse cost for the ambassadors. This is a voluntary work. It is a work, of course, that you do as part of your job, hopefully, typically, and as we heard before, it is a work that you do, as we do, for the advancement of innovation in your own country. But on the other side, we will recognize this with a certificate that we can provide for you. If you need it for your work, we can provide a certificate that you're playing this role. We will have special open badges starting from autumn this year. So ambassadors will be specifically recognized through these open badges that you can use in your online profiles. And then there is visibility in the community website. So this is about recognition, and then we will try to support you as ambassadors as much as possible. We are preparing a mini promotional kit with a PowerPoint similar to the one I was showing before that you can use, you can translate. I expect you might want to translate it. And the leaflet, a one-pager that you can use to promote the community in your school if you need to print out a few things or to present the community somewhere in your activity. And of course, whenever you come with an idea of a webinar, for example, coming from your country, what we can help with, hopefully, is supporting with, for example, webinar interpretation. This is something that has proved to work very well in the past. Now, I just wanted to go very fast here, and I would like now to quickly open the floor on now, let me see if I can, I don't, yes, I see some of you. I just wanted to open the floor on the previous slide on this role of the ambassadors. If you would like, if you have some questions or some ideas on how you see your role, consider that there are already some activities coming out, starting soon from the community. So any comment now is welcome. Luzine, please. You're muted.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions. First, can we organize these webinars on behalf of ETF and use the logo of ETF? And can we issue certificates to the participants on behalf of ETF? And also, are we authorized, for example, to issue credits to the participants? For example, why I'm mentioning it? Because in our country now, this informal education of the education professionals is on the top of our agenda, and the professors, the administrative staff simply do not want to waste the time on things that are not valorized, are not validated, not validated and recognized by the organizers. And in case we use this ETF logo, and also in case you enable us to issue certificates on behalf of the European Training Foundation, so it will be good for them, because it will be first international training and webinar, because this is we have diversification between, for example, local webinars and seminars and international seminars and webinars. Probably it's not very important when it comes to the real knowledge, skills, and competencies they are going to get through these webinars. But formally, as there are a lot of such initiatives everywhere, we should also explain to them what is our advantage. Please, can you tell me what can we offer them as an advantage of these ETF webinars?
I can start, and I will ask Olena and the colleagues to help in case. So from a point of view of the branding, of course, if you come with a webinar idea, coming on a theme, for example, you have some speakers in mind from different countries or from your region, or even something specifically from your country, it would be great to have a webinar specifically on Armenia with some selected speakers. That can be branded as an ETF community webinar for sure. Of course, we should organize it together. It will be done. We can help you with the Zoom. We can help you with interpretation if need be. And so that we need to schedule it properly, because of course there will be a number of events, but that will be an ETF event. Of course, co-organized with you or with your university, with your ministry, depending. So the community is really looking totally openly with on this kind of co-owned things. So it's on that one, we are totally positive. Now, on issuing certificates, what we did until now was issuing certificates to the speakers of the webinars when they were requesting it, but we haven't witnessed certificates to the participants of the webinars. This is something we have not done for a number of reasons. And another thing we cannot do, and for this then I leave the floor to Olena, we cannot issue credits. So normally the ETF cannot issue accreditations for learning outcomes, because we don't provide training. We support the development of skills, but we don't provide directly training. So we can find a way around that. So if it's, for example, you could brand the webinar as ETF, and then a university from Armenia could assign the credits. Fine. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. But Olena, I don't think we can, right?
I can respond. Fabio, I think we can stop sharing, because then we will see everybody. No, I think it's
right. You're right.
If we arrived to the end of the slides.
Yeah, I had a few more slides, but I think it's more important. I will share them later, but it's important now to.
Okay.
Last
Since we're in questions, Lucine, it's correct that you're Lucine, no? We pronounce it. Yeah, I know, I know. So, Lucine, this was a 100 million question that you asked, because for everyone who is engaged today in this kickoff meeting, it's very important to understand what game we are playing. So just to make it clear that ETF is the formal institution of the European Union. We are the agency of the European Union. We are part of the European Commission. We are like remote department of the European Commission, thematic, and we have the budget that is approved by the European Parliament. So we are all officials of the Commission as being experts. So it is very important to understand the boundaries and what representation means. When we say promotion is one story. So this is belonging to the community and promoting the community. Speaking on behalf of the ETF, for instance, or on the community, all of us present here, we do not represent ETF on many occasions. Only, for example, our director could represent, or our managers. So we have to be very careful not to represent or not to speak on behalf of the ETF or the community in the situations where you think that you understand using your judgment that you are not authorized to do so. So, for instance, the community, when we have 40 ambassadors, more than 40 ambassadors now, if there are good ideas to organize events for, we can organize them for specific stakeholders for one country, for one sector. There could be different levels of these events, but they have to be organized together so that we would together decide how to balance it and how to organize it so that it will match the whole community. And then in terms of issuing credits, I can tell you honestly that ETF could never issue credits based on learning outcomes for one simple reason, because we are working with 29 partner countries and 27 member states. And there are lots of institutions which have the role of giving credits, accrediting, and they are authorized to do the assessment of learning outcomes. ETF, if we start assessing learning outcomes, we would go beyond our authority because we would give preference to certain groups, and we cannot do it because we work with all stakeholders, etc. So it's very important to remember these boundaries. And in order to make sure that we can address the ideas, the proposals for different events, for different discussions within small communities or big communities, it is very critical to speak about it a bit in advance so that we could also plan our resources accordingly to support these events, because some of them will require interpretation, maybe some resources, maybe some other support tools. So please think in advance and let us know about these ideas so that we know that this country or that organization, that sub-community would like to organize some discussion, and we would be then planning it in advance, and we will try to accommodate as many as possible interesting ideas. So we co-organize them, and if you organize for one country, doesn't mean that the other countries could not participate. So maybe other ambassadors will be cooperating with you, or their experts would join and contribute. I hope I answered, Lucine. Was it clear? Okay.
Thank you. No, that's exactly the idea. So if something, if a specific ambassador or a community, a sub-community, a country community, national community is interesting or working on a specific thing, feel free through us, or now we can discuss what is the best way for you to keep in touch. We can create a mailing list. We can create a WhatsApp group. We need an easy way, if for you just to let the others know, which cannot be the community space, because that is for everybody. But we are talking now about our smaller group, where if you have an idea, like let's organize a meeting on STEM. I need a couple of speakers. Who has a couple of good speakers on STEM? This kind of thing can be thrown on the community list, and the others can respond. And then even if the meeting doesn't take place, it's already good. We have already shared the information on STEM experts. So this is actually the importance of the richness of the thing.
One more question, if you do not mind. You mentioned you can provide us with Zoom. We can use Zoom, but this is one option when we use it without any interpretation, and there is also possibility to use the Zoom with the full range of options. Is it possible for the ETF to provide us with this Zoom with an interpretation option in case we decide to organize?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I was saying before.
It's rather expensive. For example, we can't offer at the moment to pay every time when we organize webinars for the Zoom with a special option.
What I was saying before, actually, as much as possible, of course, we cannot think of organizing 200 events during the year, but as much as possible, we will do so. So we are available not only to provide the technical facilities of Zoom, but also the interpreters, and this as we did for our past events. Yes. Yes, please, Elena.
I would just like to add that we have some resources. We planned interpretation, and we have Zoom license for supporting very sophisticated events. That's why we came to this community already with some resources. If, imagine, this year we will be overwhelmed by the number of ideas for events, and there will be so many interesting topics and experts, etc. We will plan more resources next year. We will justify it that we need more resources, and we will compete for these resources with other projects.
Thank you.
Any more idea? Yes, I know that we have two ideas. One about the importance of the certificate of participation in the events. Actually, one thing we are working on, and we will be launching from this autumn on, are open badges, as I was mentioning before. So open badges can testify participation in events and in the community itself. It's an easy way and an automatic way for this to happen. But of course, if many of you think that it is important to provide certificates of participation, of course, we can look into this. Of course, if this is very important for your stakeholders, if it's a certificate of attendance, it's something we can do.
Actually, we give certificates to speakers. So if you're a speaker, you're an active contributor, we provide certificates. Otherwise, certificate, if it's just a participant, it has no sense. It has no meaning, because we cannot acknowledge anything. Just participation.
Another very good point in the chat is the idea of creating a code of conduct of the ambassador. So just what an ambassador, what you can do and what you cannot do as an ambassador, of course, as everything in life, because it is true that you represent the community, but you do not represent officially the ETF or the European Union. So we need to make sure that we put it in a clear way, so that we take the best of this kind of representation.
There's some noise. Probably somebody needs to mute the microphone. Yeah.
Any more question on the role of the ambassadors? I give you, Sami, please. Sami?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is to have the ETF and the Ministry of Education in each country having a common language. I think, first of all, as an ambassador here in Jordan, me and Hani and Haidar, we can't go work in school because there is a restriction. We need a permission to go to get in a school. We can work in different NGOs, but that's not the main idea. The second thing, I think it's important of ETF to send a official letter to the Ministry of Education explaining and orienting the Ministry of Education with your community, what's your scope of work and what you can offer to the Ministry of Education. And after that, I think we can start to work. That's the most important thing I think that you can do for things like this.
The letters have been already sent, Sami.
Yes, a similar letter has been sent when the community started, actually, just to announce the community and to say that we would have most probably contacted a number of educators in the country, because we know that not in all your countries, but in a number of countries, it is important to let the authorities know. But actually, if you have these specific requests, I don't think this is needed for all the countries. But if, Sami, you have the specific request, for example, you would like us to get in touch with the ministry on something specific, feel free to get in touch with us. Olena, please.
Yeah, actually, you probably know that ETF has a country liaison person for each country. So like Christine was, when she was introducing herself, she was saying that she is a country liaison for Palestine. So this means that we have a person who works with every country, and this will be the person that for sure you need to meet. And then it could be agreed what kind of support could be provided if you feel like you need a bit more formal support. The letters were sent last year in the second part of the year to inform the ministries of education about the ETF activities in the countries, and the community was announced during that round. So if there is any specific need, please let us know, and we will also consult the country liaison and see how we can specifically help you to do this work in the country. Especially this is a voluntarily more kind of engagement rather than any formal role, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. But one thing we will do is to put you in touch when we have a minimum number of ambassadors for a country with the country liaison. When we have a team, at least a couple of persons, to make sure that you know who the country liaison is, and if you have specific requests we can also leverage on that. And actually, some of you were suggested through country liaison. For example, the colleagues from Palestine or from Lebanon. I think there is a person from Lebanon here, apart from Nehme, who is not here with us, but who was suggested by our Lebanese country liaison. Okay. A question by Vladica on the chat. As an ETF ambassador, I plan to visit schools in Serbia. Will I then have an excuse to be absent from class? Will my school pay my travel expenses as resolved in other states? No, I would say I don't think I don't think this is not an official job. So you cannot say that you can take off some time from your work because of this job. Of course, this is the beauty of it, because we don't ask ambassadors any specific amount of work nor any specific result. We will all do what we can, but on the other hand, of course, these are activities that you need to do on top of your job. So it's
more like hobby. It's like a member of the club. If you're a member of chess club, you cannot use it as an excuse not to go to work.
But of course, if you need a recognition, I think I don't remember which ambassador who requested a certificate, like a PDF stating that you have been appointed by the ETF for the year 2022 as an ambassador of the community. And this is a certificate that if you need it for your career or to show that that's up to you. We cannot, of course, do more than this, but if with that certificate you are then able to get some hours free at your job, fine. But we cannot do more than providing you a proof that you are appointed in that role, I would say.
Okay, may I ask you then a question? So, it's good to say that it will be a hobby, and we all like and love our hobbies. However, all the ambassadors in general also want to be a little bit motivated. And have you just allocated a kind of a budget, for example, for face-to-face events of the ambassadors for us to know each other better? Or are we going just to meet on online platforms and then go to our offices and universities and start initiating events? Because I think this is a very good component of all the international initiatives to provide the participants opportunities every now and then to meet face-to-face, and to have an opportunity to exchange ideas in an informal and real environment. This is one thing. When we meet one another here, it's good, and we can also exchange ideas, but it will be even better, and it will be a kind of a motivation to meet somewhere, to talk, to have a chance to do something together in a new place and so on. Are we going to experience something like that in the future?
Let me reply you with the last couple of slides, because the time is over almost, and this is a very brief list of the activities of this year, what we foresee for this year. Now, apart from the monthly webinars that we all know that are taking place, and there are 2 coming up very soon in the next slide, we have blog posts and so on, and you will receive all this information. We will start around May we launch a call for inspiring teaching innovation practice. So there, your role will be actually not only to let us have your own practice or the practice of your colleague, but really to make sure that every potentially innovative educator in your country can respond to this call. This will be a very simple call to gather some innovative ideas. Then there will be a selection of these practices in terms of innovation. And then the idea is to meet in October or November in Torino for this event. Now, for a face-to-face event where the best practices, we are thinking about 10 teaching practices will be awarded. So the 10 innovators will be there. And there again, we know that face-to-face meetings are very important. We also know that a group of 40 people starts to become a rather large group. So, and we might become bigger because we also have some countries that are not covered yet. And of course, some of you might decide that this is too much work for you. So you might not, nobody is obliged to do anything, like in hobbies, that's clear. So the list, of course, might change. But the plan is to have the first meeting with some of you, of course, not all of you, but some of you, in Torino in October, November, connected to the New Learning 2022 award. Now we need to still figure out how many people and with which criteria we will invite participants there, apart from the winners. But this will be the first moment. And then, of course, it would be great. Now, Olena said before that we have the luxury of having the possibility to possibly plan the resources for next year, depending also on your needs. So if you say, we would like to get together as once for a few days to really discuss innovation face-to-face for a 3 days workshop, for example, we could try to set this up for next year, for example. We need to see, we are, the ambassadors is also a way for us to get your needs, to get an understanding of your needs for this community to advance in terms of innovation valorization. So this is what is, Alena, see.
Yeah. Just I think coming back to the question of Lucine about the resources, we of course we don't have resources for any activities because activities on the ground we could not pass resources to you to use for any offline activities. This is an online community, and as we were explaining at the beginning, this community is not a self-standing project. It's the surrounding ecosystem around the new learning activities in the ETF. So it is an online platform, online community of practice, and all the activities are online. If you would feel that you need printed leaflets, etc., we could arrange printing and we could discuss how to do, depending on how many leaflets you know and you need, etc., etc. But at this moment, it's all very easy and very lightweight. So if you need to print a couple of color pages and just use them, I think that would be the easiest way to address it. And in terms of resources, we have resources attached to, we have procured services. We have companies which work with ETF. There is a very rigorous procurement process, etc. So they are providing services, interpretation, video conferencing support, event organizing. We are using these facilities to organize the activities of the community as well as other activities under the Creating New Learning project and broader in ETF. So unfortunately, not under this initiative, we don't have the budget for ambassadors.
Yeah. Uktam, please. And then I think we will have to close because be on time. Please.
Dear colleagues, first of all, I see that this platform can give us a very good chance to make good collaborations with our government members and our stakeholders, donors as World Bank, USAID and others organizations that nowadays supporting the reforms in education in Tajikistan. So I see that there are lots of colleagues from different countries and we can invite also all of them for cooperation. But my question is, if ETF can act as an applicant for different calls that are proposed by these stakeholders, can we act as an applicant? This is my question.
Fabio, shall I? Fabio, you're muted. We don't hear.
Go ahead, go ahead. This is an
Yeah.
easy one.
Yeah, it's an easy one. Uktam, ETF, as I was telling before, ETF is the EU institution. And we are a formal institution of the European Commission. And as I said, our budget is strictly defined. It's defined by the European Parliament as it's a separate line in the budget. So we don't apply for any grants, and we cannot participate as a party in any fundraising or any request for funding in any calls. We don't provide funds ourselves, but we design and we implement different activities, which include the use of the EU funding. We are funded by the EU. So unfortunately, we cannot be part of the calls and projects.
Yeah, but what we can do, we can facilitate contacts, of course. And this list, I mean, is there also this communities, the sub community is also there to, you know, to make sure that if you need a partner or somebody, an expert in a specific field in a country which is among these countries around the table now, you can of course ask, but not the ETF. Yes. Merab, you have
actually, I was going to continue. You said half of my what I was going to say. So through this, my experiences, we already contacted some ambassadors. We talked privately. There are some project calls that we can easily involve ourselves as experts or organizations we're affiliated with. So it's an opportunity to network with many countries, even if it's like bilateral country project or trilateral, or even if I'm involved in as private expert to some Ukrainian project, vice versa. So there are plenty of opportunities in this sense. So I can see the potential here in this excellent community of innovative educators. And also by sharing and looking for innovations in our countries, we can promote these innovations, in some cases franchise them or whatever, invent some new startups with by ourselves. And so it's kind of fantasizing about the future events, but not ask ETF as a formal institution to directly support us. I understand that the expectations were different from the ambassadors, but I'm talking just from the experiences of gathering people from my region. So I think some indirect benefits could outweigh some other time spent on the community. And again, it depends on us how much time spent on it.
Fabio, may I I was all the time saying no, so I want to support Merab to say that there is lots of yeses also. There is a lot of positive answers to your future questions, because if we start working with people, I observe myself during all these years how many opportunities there are being associated with the EU programs, with the ETF programs. So we really hope that we could be helping you to use these opportunities and to increase the opportunities for the others.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is exactly the idea. Now, I'm cautious of time because I don't want to keep you here more, and I need to pass you a last message before closing. And actually, last message and the question that we need to answer together. So these are the two upcoming events the community is going on. And the first is taking place at the end of April, and the second is taking place at the end of May. The first, just to briefly describe these two events. In the first event is about the READY model, which is a model for teachers development and teachers professional development that we have developed within the ETF out of some work we did, and that we would like to promote through the community. So this is something that we organize centrally with our experts, and it will be, both events will be interpreted in Russian and Arabic to be as outreached as possible. And in that specific case, for example, we did the agenda, and your role as ambassadors there would be to promote, translate, in case you would like to translate the text of this webinar, write posts, invite people, and so on. Of course, participate, you and your colleagues. The second event on innovative learning tools and ideas to bring down the digital gender gap was not invented by us, was coming out from the community. So from the community, a couple of startups, one from Moldova, one from Sweden, coming discussing, well, also connected to some other activities of the ETF, but was not invented by us. So came up as an idea of let's organize something. We have 3 or 4 innovators in this specific field. Why we don't organize a webinar? And voila, it was done. And there we are providing, of course, the platform, the interpretation, and so on. So this second one is a kind of event that you could also organize, you could help to organize in the future. Now, these 2 events, as everything else that the community is doing, is listed here. So we have this community web space on the ETF open space, which most of you will know, maybe not all of you, but I'm sending an email later on with a number of links so that we are all on the same page. But in this page, you can find all the important information. Now, these 2 events, for example, are now there in the homepage with a link to the description of the event, to the registration facility, and so on and so forth. So this was all from my side, from our side. Now, the main question is, before we close, how do we keep in touch? We plan to produce a web repository where we can put the PowerPoints, where we can put the leaflet, the promotional material that you can use. This we can produce, but we were asking ourselves, we would like to hear from you. How do you prefer, and maybe you can write it in the chat, how do you prefer to keep in touch? Should we develop a mailing list with all your email accounts there where everybody can write to each other? Should we develop a WhatsApp group, something where you can quickly, if you have some quick news that you want to share with the others, you can use it through WhatsApp? Should we develop, in the future, we plan to have a subspace in the new open space, specifically for us, ambassador, but this will not happen in the very next weeks. So the question is, who of you would like to go for a mailing list? Do you think a mailing list where we can just easily communicate to all of you this news if there is a new event, or if you want to say something to the ambassadors, we want to promote internationally something that you are doing, you prefer to do that, you would like to do it by email? Email is fine. Please let us know in the chat. Oh yes, or by putting the finger up as Jamil did.
I think it's better to have a WhatsApp chat. It will be quicker and we can exchange information any minute to track one another, to ask questions. It will be more convenient. Okay, Luzine goes for chat. Actually, Julian was proposing also a WhatsApp chat, so we have already 2 votes. Yes, let's vote.
Channel, Fabio, maybe even a channel, because it's already more than 40 people.
Sorry?
Maybe a channel, Telegram channel or something. Just we need to see this media, because WhatsApp chat for 40 people could be a bit challenging.
Bit too much.
Yeah, let's see what exactly we will.
Okay, so I will in the feedback email after this, in the follow-up email of this meeting, we will put on a mini poll with asking you what's your preference, your preferred. Yeah, and actually things can also work in collaboration. It can be email plus Telegram, and we can simply duplicate things automatically there. So no problem. Okay. But in order to have the opinion of everybody, I think now we are just 28, and shame on us that we are getting a bit late, but this meeting is really important for us. So I see there Telegram, mail, Viber. Oh my God, so many tools. Interesting. I see some of you are computer scientists and digital pedagogists. That's clearly visible from there. Okay. So thank you very much. I can just thank you for your participation, enthusiasm. This was just the first kickoff meeting. It should have lasted, I think, at least 1 or 2 days in presence to get to know each other, have dinner together, and really discuss what we are doing and what we could bring this forward together. Unfortunately, that is not possible, so we have to live with that. But I think it's already a big achievement to have spent this more than an hour and a half together. So thank you very much. I don't know if my ETF colleagues, Julian, Olena, want to say something. I just see smiling faces. So there will be a follow-up email, and please remember within the email, there will be also a request to promote the upcoming events and to participate in the upcoming events, and a link to the open space web page where you can also find the latest news and where you can propose also things. Thank you very much. Nothing more to say. Great to have had the privilege of being here when we are actually kicking off this team of ambassadors, which I think we're going to be doing great things together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye.
Good luck.
Welcome. Bye.
Bye. Bye. See you.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.